A High Court judge has criticised tests used by social services to determine if parents in childcare cases have been drinking. A mother from southwest London almost had her child taken from her because tests on her hair carried out by the firm Tricotech appeared to show alcohol consumption. In fact, she was teetotal. Now hundreds of people who've undergone similar tests are considering appeals. Porrick O'Brien has this exclusive report.
Whether this mother could keep her children or not boiled down to this: a strand of her hair. She told us that at the age of 13 she was abused and turned to drink. She had had children taken into care. When she became pregnant again, her local council started proceedings to have that child taken into care as well. In the meantime, though, something had changed.
I had to stop. I just didn't like my life anymore. I couldn't live with who I was anymore.
How long were you dry for?
I've been dry now nearly 2 years.
Social services didn't believe her, and it went to court. As part of the case, a sample of her hair was taken to test to see whether she'd been abstinent or not. It was sent to a company called Tricotech. Its headquarters here, just outside Oxford. They're part of a company which is the biggest drug and hair testing company in Europe. So, what were the results?
It came back positive that I've been drinking it. I thought, no, it must be wrong. They've got someone else's hair and they've tested someone else's hair. I was just all in pieces because I knew that I'd done everything right. I just didn't want to lose my child.
When you thought about the prospect of losing your child, how did that make you feel?
I couldn't do it. Didn't want to do it, you know.
She demanded another test with a different company. The results of that one were interpreted as negative. So, what was going on? The judge wanted answers. Expert witnesses were called and both companies gave evidence. This is the public judgment made by the High Court Family Division. It makes a number of specific criticisms of how Tricotech tested the mother's hair. It says that two different types of hair strand test should be used in this type of case, but that Tricotech just used one. It says hair tests are not designed to establish abstinence, only excessive use. And finally, it says a 3-centimetre strand of hair should be used. That's 3 months' worth of growth, as opposed to a shorter segment, so that a pattern of behaviour can be accurately established. Tricotech didn't do this. The company admitted in court that they've subsequently changed this part of their testing regime. But here's the thing: how many other cases over the years may be affected? In the last 5 years, Tricotech have conducted 12,000 tests relating to childcare cases. Most won't be affected. Some, maybe.
Will you be reviewing any of the thousands of cases over the last few years?
We don't believe this judgment is seeking us to do so.
So no.
We think the test... That's right. Because,
so no.
Because we think that the judgment is about the weight that's placed on one test which should not be relied upon on its own in isolation of other forms of evidence.
This judgment relates to a specific type of scenario. Each one of these cases is uniquely complicated. But off the back of this case, we found out that 2 other appeals are taking place. This judgment ends with a quote from the solicitor acting for the child's guardian. He says that the reliance on these results were potentially catastrophic. In this case, thankfully, it wasn't. Mother and children are back together.
All my children back with me and we're having a good life at the moment, you know. I'm getting to know them again.
I mean, if the chief executive of Tricotech was sitting here in front of you, what would you be saying to him?
We're people, real human beings, not just pieces of hair. You know, I was nearly losing my child, and it's not on.
Porrick O'Brien, BBC London News.